Okay, here we are live again. I'll wait for everybody to show up because it's about another 5 minutes. But I've got this little guy right here. This is a 1960D. It says it's a 1960D Lincoln Brilliant Uncirculated Chase Original Wrapped Roll. So Chase Bank is probably where this is from. But I don't know for sure because this thing's been wrapped up since it was new. So I'm going to go ahead and start peeling it apart. It'll take me a little while to get this open all the way. Right, there's one old piece of brittle tape that won't be used again. Let's see. Let me see if I can get it all out from this end. I'll pick at it a little bit. See if I can get this foil apart. Here we go. There's Coin Hunter. There's Malcolm. Foil wrapped roll. Trying to get this thing picked apart. They're great for storage. They're really not easy to get into. Here we go. Getting that foil off. Now you can see the tissue paper underneath. It's got tissue paper with tape. Not going to be as easy as I thought it was. And I'm trying to keep it on camera while I'm doing it, but you got to hold your tongue just right to get that to work. There we go. There we go. I've got it coming apart now, I think. Bunch of little pieces. Whoever wrapped this up did not plan on unwrapping it. I know that for sure. $60 years. This thing's been wrapped. 61 years, actually. Oh. There we go. Finally get all the foil untaped so it'll come off. There we go. Got all the foil off now. Now here we go with trying to find the edge of the tape on the tissue paper so I can cut that off too. I had to make myself an end. There we go. There's that one. End of this one's not hard to find. And now this one. Hey, Coin Junkie. David Cunningham. Back for more. Archaeology. There's Archaeology back for more. Alright, here we go. Finally, I'm down to the final layer of outer layers before I get to the actual layer that wraps the coins. Let's see here. So this is like it's almost as thick as newsprint, but not quite. Oh, Carl. All right, now we're back into the actual wrapper. Boy, this is one professional job, I tell you that for sure. So this is 1960D on it, and it is the Chase Manhattan Bank. First time this has been viewed in many years. I get this stuff out of here. Clean it up as much as I can so it doesn't contaminate the coins. Boy, that was a mess. Mess. Oh, this wasn't the only roll, Malcolm. I bought a little more than 100 rolls that were like this. This was the one 1960D roll that was like this. I have no idea what's inside here. No opportunity to look before I got into it and started digging through it. That's for sure. And here we are. You guys watch me take the foil off of this. You're watching me get the wrapper off of the coins. Everything is being done live on camera. There we go. There's this end picked apart. I get to the other end that has this little it's got this little piece of cardboard. There it is. There's a little piece of paper that was on the end holding the roll together, or holding that end of the roll together. Wrapper over the coins just like I usually do. And here we are, presented with a 1960D roll that has been very tightly wrapped since 1960. All right. Well, how do we get started? All we do is we flip and insert. Eric is going to get the end roll coin. And he's gone to an appointment right now. So let's see what it is. Oh, this is a small date roll. Or I think it's a small date roll. This is a small date coin. Could be that the whole roll is like this. Could be that we end up with some real goodies in here. You never know what you might get. But there's the first one. It was not indicated as to whether it was going to be a small or a large date on the outside of the wrapper. And let me go ahead and take a look at the reverse. Reverses in 1960 are not known, or they're not common anyway. Double die reverses. Gosh, look at the toning on this. Beautiful. You can't really, I mean, there's just no real way to totally appreciate the toning on these without seeing them in person, but I can at least give it a shot. Like this. There's all kinds of beautiful color on that. That comes from the paper wrapper. Haven't been around it for so long. Alright, back to the magical tour view. Hang on. Okay, yeah, that is. Okay. Let me get myself focused in right here. There we go. Okay, look at the reverse side of this. And we have no doubling. So that's Eric's coin, coin number 1 in the roll. No doubling on this one. Well, we're kind of limited as to the really major RPMs that we could get out of this roll, primarily because it's a small date roll. We didn't know that before we opened it. But there are still plenty of slightly lesser die varieties to be found. 1960D, small date. I mean, for sure that we've got some nice BU coins here. That's for sure. Hey, Randy. Alright, that one's for Stonecutter. Let's look at coin number 3 now. Coin number 3 goes to Coin Hunter. Coin Hunter in the building, and we have a doubled mint mark. We have an RPM here. Should be relatively easy to discern which this is after we really dig into it, because we do have a die break inside the 6 of the date. So that will make that one easy to recognize. But now we've also got a die chip in the bottom of the R of Liberty, and these are the reason why the small date was replaced. This was the original design for the 1960 Lincoln Cent. This particular microscope is a Dynolite. It's a Dynolite. I think it's an Edge. It just says Dynolite. I'm going to bring up my big microscope though, because I want to see if I can do that. So hang on just a minute and let me get that situated. I know I wanted to do this earlier. Let me get it set up here real quick. Okay, now let me transfer this coin over to the big scope so I've got something to get focused in on. And now, let me set up my display. Okay, now this is my big scope. Once I can get the lighting set up, now that should be more clear. That should be better and more clear. Gouge under bust, let me check here. Hang on just a moment. Get us focused in. Are we looking there for a gouge under the bust? That is a gouge underneath the shoulder. There's a small gouge running here under the bust, but I don't see anything like huge or massive. This particular microscope is a much bigger, much more expensive setup. So this isn't something you can just buy and run with. But it does get quite nice images. Everything on it is manual, so the focus is manual. That's why every time I move the zoom, I have to every time I change the zoom, I have to refocus. I get that lighting set in there just right. Then we can focus in on this. There's what it looks like. Nice little repunchment mark there. Okay, that's coin number 3 now. Coin number 3 goes to Coin Hunter. And put that in the flip insert. The flip right there. There we go. Coin number 4. Coin number 4 goes to Carl Ignatz. And Carl will get this coin. See nothing there. Nothing under the eye. Nothing in trust. Nothing in the Liberty. Coin Hunter, probably not. It depends on whether this is a new die, whether it's going to become a plate coin. There's a lot of things. By grade alone, I don't think it's worth very much. At $5 or so. A little die break inside the O of 1. Nothing else there. So that's Carl's coin. Now coin number 5. Coin number 5 for Deanne. Looks like I've got nothing going on there. Little die chip inside the bottom of the R, which is actually rather common. Yeah, flip it over and take a look at the reverse real quick. Because I've got my exposure set on automatic, every time I move the coin out of the way, it focuses on the dark and tries to make the dark lighter so that when I stick another shiny coin underneath, it suddenly over brightens and then comes back down. So that's kind of the thing that's going to happen when you do automatic exposure. And I don't like doing it any other way, because any other way you've got spots that are too dark and spots that are too light, and ones that work and ones that don't work. So we'll just do it this way and deal with the fact that it's going to flash at us. That is a very minor RPM. Little tiny split on the upper serif there. Little tiny split. Jessica calls these baby splits. You can see it right up there on the upper serif. Hello, Adam. Got nothing going on as far as doubling in any other form or fashion is concerned on this roll, or on this coin. Sorry. But, yeah, we've got the big scope out. Alright. Next coin up. Wait, coin number 7. It didn't take me very long to get that set up. Number 7 is for Yo Man. Let me zoom out a little bit here so we can actually see what we're doing. And it looks like I have a normal 1960D small date Lincoln cent here. Got a little bit of a grease strike, a little bit of something plugging up the S in trust. So it didn't strike up very well. And that's it for that side. Let's take a look at the other side, see if we have anything going on there that needs better attention. And unfortunately, I don't see anything here that requires better attention. 133. Okay, thank you. That was a 133. 1mm 133. Thanks, Yo Man. I'm going to go ahead and mark it as such. Hang out just a second while I grab my pen. There we go. I got it marked. Coin number 8 will go to Adam. Maybe we'll get one of those for you right here. No, looks like I got a nothing here. An unfortunate nothing. Okay, we got a little depression next to the ER. Means that it's going to turn into an EIR error. It's going to end up breaking between the E and the R and leaving what appears to be a mound of metal between the two, which appears to be an I. And the error people call that an EIR error. The R has a chip already. Well, we got nothing else on this one. Nothing known on the reverse side for 1960D small date. Take a look at the next one for Lucy, Miss Ramlow. We'll get... looks like I got nothing going on here. Doesn't like it when I hit really large areas like that. Let me see if I can change something about that and get off of auto exposure. See if maybe we can just leave it like this, and now it won't change on us. See if I come out here, it just gets too dark and then I come back. Okay, so that's kind of the way we need to do it. Got it. Get it, got it, good. That's Lucy's coin number 9. We are taking a little bit longer than usual on this one, but that's because, first of all, the roll was a monster to get into. Layer after layer after layer. Then once we got into it, we started looking at it, and I realized that my little dynoscope just doesn't do a good enough job to really broadcast using it. So I've moved over to my big scope. My big scope is a little more difficult to deal with. So I've had to kind of make it easier to deal with. And, well, it's working. It's working pretty well. There's one for Thomas. Thomas. Well, got nothing again. There's a nice die scratch right above the RT of Liberty, so if that happened to be anything, then we'd have a really good marker. Otherwise, we have a wasted marker. We have a marker for nothing. Now let's take a look at coin number 12. DN. DN's coin number 12 shows us... It's got a little chip inside the 6, but it has nothing else. A little chip in the R. See how many of these dies chipped out in different little letters and areas? That's why they switched them out for the larger date. Want to make something that was a larger, cleaner design? They did. It was not necessarily intended for collectors to notice these, that being large and small date. That was just one of those things they did and just kind of kept it under cuff and just did it. And they didn't even keep track of how many dies they used that were small date and large date. All of them were just 1960 dies. So we don't really even know how many different dies total they used of each, the large and the small date. The only thing we can get from the archive records is a total number of dies used in 1960 in Philadelphia and Denver. What that means is that we have absolutely no idea what the actual mintage of the large and the small date were. That, folks, when you change a design slightly mid-year and you can tell the difference in that change, and it was an intended change, they actually meant to do it, they just did not mean for us to see it, is a variety. Oh, looky there. We've got another one. We've got another one here. This is another 133. This one's going to Yo-Man for his effort. How about that? Yo-Man's going to get one of them because, well, he helped us identify it. Same die here. Butamus. Oh, hey, hidden. Didn't see you pop in there. You were too hidden. Ha, ha, ha. You have a great afternoon, sir. Okay, so we got 2 of these now. Moving on to coin number 16, we're going to go to Carl, back to Carl Ignatz, and we're going to see what we can get. looks like we have nothing on this coin. Unfortunately, coin number 17. Back to Coin Hunter again. Back to Coin Hunter again. What do we get for Coin Hunter? Well, it looks like this one's going to turn out normal. The reason you see a little bit of bouncing in the lighting is because the lighting is extremely close to my finger. Here, I'll show you what it looks like if I can. Try to take a picture of it with my phone. And then, if that comes out, okay, then I will try to show it under here. Here it is. That's my finger. My finger and my thumb with the coin that's currently under the scope. It's sitting on the bed of the pedestal for the scope. And then that little thing right there, that is a coin tube that has had both ends of it cut out with black construction paper over the top of it so the light doesn't shine back up into the scope. And that's what I'm using right there to show you guys these coins. So anytime that light bounces, that's because I accidentally hit that tube. So that's what that is. Okay, got nothing on this one. Unfortunately, die chip inside top of O. O as in the 0? No, that's not a die chip. That's a hit on the coin. Or are you looking for a die chip inside the top of the O on the 133? Top of the O is in the O of 1. I just wanted to check that coin just to see. I'll stick that one in there. Yeah, this is one of the 133s right here. That's what it looks like. That's the reverse of the 133. So you got that right for sure. Marshall gets the next coin. Let's see what Marshall gets. Well, we've got a nice big old chip inside the 6. We've got a chip inside the R. But I don't see any sign of an RPM there. So we have a different die that just happens to have the same basic areas chipped out. Take a look at the reverse of this one just to see what's going on. See, I've seen a few of them now with a lot of activity right there around the NT of cent. But this one has nothing on the reverse as well. So, off into the holder it goes. On to coin number 19 now. Coin number 19 goes to Paul Hampton. So far we've got one nice little RPM that we're looking for. There is a possibility, I haven't said anything yet, but there is a possibility that some of these might be very minor double die obverses. I'm not sure about it, but see this one, the 0 is kind of evenly shaped all the way around, although it is just a little tiny bit fatter on the lower right. Just keep watching. And I will hit somewhere in here a coin again that has a much fatter 0. Not this one. This one shows us ho. I think I may have just found a clash. A very odd looking clash. Could be a misaligned clash. Hang on. Let me keep looking here before I really say anything else. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's good that my light bounced just a little bit right there, but I'm going to try to get a poker out and poke it and show you. This little spot. What am I doing with this thing? I can use my cursor because I'm on screen. This little thing right here. That looks like part of the space between a couple of letters. That might be, no, that's a stain. But this is definitely odd. All this stuff up here appears to be the bottoms of letters from, where would it be? America. So if you turn it this way, it's almost like you're reading America backwards around the field. I think this is a clash. It's an interesting clash. Let's figure out what exactly is on the opposite side of this area. It would be this area right in here. The AME of America is what goes through the date in the mint mark area. I don't see any clashing on this side that would correspond with it. But over here, it seems to be pretty obvious to me that that's clash marks. In fact, it looks like this right here is the bottom of an E, backwards, bottom of an E. So that would make this part of the M, and then the A would be over here. So AME, America. I think that's what this is. But that'll go to Mike Birchman. That might actually be listed on Mad Die Clashes. I don't know. I don't really look those up. Deanne. Deanne comes next. Coin number 21. And coin number 21 is normal. Normal coin in the roll. Now number 22, Jim Fletcher. Back to Jim Fletcher. That one's got the small fill in the 6. That one's not anything. Although, now that I'm looking at it again, no, it isn't. Never mind. I thought it might be an RPM. Let me move my lighting up a little bit and make it brighter. Maybe that'll solve my issue of hitting that thing over and over again. That actually helps us a lot. Much brighter light. All right. There we go. Okay. Got a normal coin here. Jim Fletcher. Coin number 23 now. Coin number 23 goes to Randy, and his nameplate is in backwards. Put it in right side. There we go. For Randy. Yes, I'm kind of OCD about that. And this is another one with the small chip inside the 6, so we don't have anything here either. Another normal coin. So I put that one in its holder. A lot of these, including this one, are slightly toned. You'll see the differences in color when you actually take a look at the real coin. Can't really show you very well under camera. It just doesn't show up very well. So now I've got one for Sissy Atwell. And this one appears to be another normal coin. This one's going to be a normal coin for Sissy. I didn't mean to put it in that way. What did I do that for? Grumbling at myself. Doing stupid stuff. Not illegal or anything, just stupid. Here's Carl. Let's look at Carl's coin. Carl's coin. It is a very, very minor upper split serif. I don't think I want to call it for anything. I think it's a little too minor. Okay, nothing on that one. Now for coin number 26, Malcolm. Malcolm's coin number 26, here it is. And we have a nothing coin. See, even after wrapping these things in foil and wrapping them in tissue paper, you can still get spots on the coins. That's just how scarce the non-spotted coins are. You can take the best care possible of your rolls. For 60 years, you can leave them wrapped up in layer after layer. Hello, Big Flip Coins. Let's see, who do we have now? This is Jim Fletcher. And Jim's coin appears to be another non-variety. We do have a, see that crack on the bottom of the R running over to the E, and you've got a chip in the E and a chip in the R, and you've got all kinds of stuff going on there. All that stuff going on there is part of why they switched away from using the small date in January of 1960. And here's number 28 goes to Eric. 28 goes to Eric. And let's see what Eric gets. Oh, that's a different one. It's a different RPM. This is an interesting little RPM. Let me turn the light down just a little bit. There we go. Sounds like a jet plane trying to take off in here. Kind of need the brighter light with the heavier. Let's see, here we go. How about this one, yo man? A nice split in the upper serif. It is a right-leaning mint mark, thin, leans to the right. It's closer to the 6 than the 9, but by barely a smidge, less than the width of a human hair. Has a couple of die scratches coming off the bottom of the 9, a bunch of north and south die scratches through the field on both sides of the obverse. I don't see any other particular markers that will help us. Back out again and start going on a marker hunt. Looks like we have some die scratches coming out of the nose area. Some especially heavy die scratches coming. Actually, that looks like die gouges underneath the VDB, right along the rim. A big die gouge from the I of in down toward the L of Liberty. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick and see what we can find for reverse markers. A little die scratch above the T, other die scratches around the T of cent. We've got a die gouge inside the lower E of 1. Alright, Coin Hunter, I appreciate it, buddy. I'll see you next time around. Be later this evening. Alright, zoom back in a little bit and get this back in normal mode. There we go. And so there's your split upper serif again. Nicely split upper serif. And that's going to be another RPM. This one goes to Eric. Now coin number 29, Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton here. So we're going to turn up a normal coin here for Paul Hampton. Let's see. Yeah, got nothing else there. A little die chip on the shoulder, but not an RPM and not a double die. So why is it that I call these varieties, but RPMs and double dies and repunch dates, those aren't varieties. Those are die varieties. And the difference between a variety and a die variety is rather subtle. The terms are very, very similar and to a point confusing. I wish that they had thought twice before coming up with these. Okay, so that was a 125. Okay. With these very, very similar names for basically the same thing, or basically completely different things. I'm sorry, completely different things. The names are extremely close to one another. But a variety is an intended change in the design of a coin within 1 year, within a single issue, that is a change that was not intended to be seen, but they did intend to make the change. Mostly large date, small date, large letters, small letters, different mint mark styles, things like that. Those are varieties. A die variety is within one die. We're talking about the difference between something that's doubled and something that's not doubled. You can have a doubled date, you can have a doubled die, you can have a doubled mint mark. That doubling makes it a die variety. And then errors are pretty much everything else. Another one of those with the little chip inside the 6. Little bird's nest up there inside the 6. It doesn't mean that we're going to have anything on this coin because, well, all the other ones like it came up normal as well. That is one way that if you're just going through rolls real quickly and you want to try to power through some rolls, you see that chip in the 6 right there, you can probably skip the coin because there's nothing else there to be seen. Now see a die variety, double dies, repunch mint marks, over mint marks, repunch dates, over dates. All of them can be, oh, there's another one of them, another one of the 133s. This is RPM number 133 here. You got that nice little split on the upper serif. Right there you can see it. And then with this one, we've got the chip in the R. No chip in the R. Was this maybe not a 133? This could be a different one, yo man. Guess it's not 133 because it doesn't carry the 133 markers. Let me check the reverse real quick. No, the O does not have a chip. This one could be a different die altogether. Let me back out just a little bit, do a marker hunt. I started with pennies back when I was 5 years old and I never left them. No chip on the 6, no chip in the R, no chip in the O. And this one is a relatively minor split upper serif, but it is worth listing. If it isn't already. Let me get my lighting back together here. You can see it there in the upper serif. I'm playing with it, trying to get it a little bit better, but it's visible. It's there. So I'm going to mark this one. This is for you, man. So I'm going to mark this one, put it off to the side. Yeah, I agree with you on that. It will be hard to find without the coin, so I'll pass this one to Eric and let him deal with it. Here's the next coin up. So I need to get this lighting straight. Much better. Not great, but much better. Too much shadow. But I'll be okay. There we go. Yeah, after I got into collecting pennies, I did that for probably 5-6 years, and then I just started collecting pretty much everything. And I got myself into collecting pretty much everything until I was about 14 years old, 13, 14 years old. I looked at the collection that I had and realized it wasn't really a collection. It was just a conglomeration of stuff, more like a hoard. I had German banknotes, I held note guild, I had foreign currency, I had foreign coins, I had U.S. coins, I had stamps, I had pretty much everything. And what do we see here? It's definitely different. Looks like part of the leg of a T beside the T. No, I guess it isn't anything. Sure, it looked like it could be something. That's dye damage right there. That's interesting. But then there was a point in time that I decided, you know what? I'm never really going to have much of anything if all I do is collect a bunch of everything. Because if I don't really know what I have or what it is or what it's worth, then I don't really have anything. So from that point on, I decided to focus on something. What I decided to focus on was pennies. Hey, there's a nice one. That one's different. That's a double split serif, upper and lower, and it's got some doubling on the inside of the upper vertical. There we go. That's a little bit better. There you can see it on the upper and the lower there. That one's for Randy. Randy got himself a nice little RPM there. We're going to figure out what this one is and get it right off to you, sir. There's one marker right there. Interesting. So my brother says, interesting. I don't say interesting. I say interesting. It's a difference in where you're from, I guess. Let's see. Of course, my brother and I are from the same state. It's interesting how it is interesting how he says interesting as interesting, and I say interesting. This is definitely an RPM, so we're going to put it off to the side with the others for Randy. Congratulations, Mr. Randy. Now on to coin number 37 now. Coin number 37 is going to go to Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton, coin number 37. And what do we have for Paul? It looks like we got a normal coin there. It is a normal coin for Paul Hampton. Unfortunate there. Let's take a look at number 38, Mr. Worley. Mr. Worley gets coin number 38. Let's see what's on coin number 38. And it turns out to be normal. doubling, no doubling. You're from the South? Yeah, I know. There's a big difference between me and the way the people in my neighborhood speak. I mean, I get along with everyone here. No problem with that. The problem is sometimes that I have a little trouble understanding some of the things they say once in a while. It's definitely got a drawl to it here. They definitely don't speak just normal rounded English like I do. I call it normal rounded English. Some people might see what I say as Midwesterner or something to that effect. But I think I would get along pretty much in any state. I've lived in Florida for a while. Living in Florida kind of cleaned up my accent a little bit. Going through 10 years of the military cleaned up my accent a lot. Because I know back in the late 80s when I went into the military, I still had a very Tennessee accent. I was raised in Tennessee from the time I was in the 3rd grade till I graduated high school. And I went into the military from there. And I was immediately exposed to a lot of people from all over the country. And my head couldn't assimilate very well to any one, so it just assimilated to everything and kind of rounded me out into just an American accent. I don't think I speak like any part of the country. In fact, if I wanted to be a journalist, I probably could be. Here's another one of those with a nice little split on the upper serif. I think, is this the 125? No, it's not 125. This is a different one. This is the one that would be hard to determine without the coin. Appreciate it, Solo Smoke. It's your birthday. Well, have a great birthday. Happy birthday to Solo Smoke. I'm going to stick that in the definite RPMs, however undetermined as to what die they are. I have a few of those now. Next coin up here is going to be from Mr. McBride. Mr. McBride gets, well, it is an RPM. It's that really minor split upper serif RPM that I think I called too minor. But we may end up finding that it already exists as a die number. Solo Smoke, have one on me. My birthday is, well, 3 days from now. So I'll have one on my birthday for you. Alright, that's coin number 42. Now 43 goes to Randy. Randy, you ready? Randy, ready? Ready, Randy. Randy is ready. And we have another RPM. Definitely an RPM here. I don't know which one, but you can definitely see a split on the upper serif right there. You can see how that upper serif is split in two. Definitely an RPM. Let's get back around, see what else we can see here. That one has the little die break between the E and the R, the little die crack. Looks like it's going to turn into an EIR. Randy gets himself another RPM here. I'm going to stick this in the pile with the rest and keep moving. I've got coin number 44 coming up next. Coin number 44 will go to Jeff Dunn. And Jeff Dunn's coin looks exactly like this. This is one of those ones that I thought may have just a little extra thickness in the bottom right corner of the 0 on the date. Maybe. Other than that, it doesn't have anything. I've seen this die a few times in this roll. Now number 45. Mike Birchman again. Coin number 45. Got nothing going on here. This is one of those ones that shows that clash mark, what appears to be a clash. You see, and I'll show you again. There is an indentation here, which is probably the corner of a letter. There is an indentation here, which is probably another letter. And then there's an indentation over here, which shows that it's probably another letter. So this is another one of those interesting coins that could easily be a nice little die clash. Got another indentation showing. You got a few more indentations showing over here as tops of letters. I remember they're upside down, they're backwards, and they're reversed in their orientation. So the letter will actually show as in Q's here because it's standing out on the die. But that's what we've got. That one's from Mike Birchman. I don't know who got the last one, but it's definitely kind of cool looking. All right, here's Sissy. Miss Atwell. Unfortunately, a normal coin here. All these coins are kind of pretty in color. They have kind of a slight yellowish orange color to them, probably because of how they were stored. $47 now. Mr. McBride. Mr. McBride comes back up looking for another RPM, and he gets one. That's one of the minor RPMs it shows. Minor split upper serif. So I'll stick that one in the pile with the rest of the minor RPMs. And folks, we are getting down to the wire here. We've got 3 coins left. I want to remind you that I do have another reveal coming up at 6 p.m. this evening. That's the 29th of July 2021. And where is the year going? Coin hunter here in absentia, which means he's not here, gets a normal coin. Unfortunately, normal coin for coin hunter. Coin number 49 now goes to Eric. So Eric will have this one, whatever it is. Another one of the minor RPMs. Really minor RPM with the split upper serif. I've also got 3 reveals scheduled for tomorrow. It's a 1955 S roll, a 1959 Philadelphia roll, and the feature roll of the week is going to be a 1954 Denver. 1954 Denver. Those are all scheduled for tomorrow. 3 hours of tomorrow evening at the intervals of 1 hour. So 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Sissy's going to get the last coin in this roll. Also, don't forget that Jessica Johnson is working hard. Oh, hey, take a look at that. That's interesting. This coin is a struck through grease die. It's got an obstruction sitting in the die, which it was struck through. You can see that the surface there is extremely shiny. In that little spot, there's a hair on there too, or a piece of fiber from the paper. It's not a hair, Chuck. It's a piece of fiber. All right. Do I have any other dates in foil rolls? I may have some. I think I do. I don't have them out right now, but I think I do. But Jessica's auction is sure to be an exciting one this evening. And I've got the 3 reveals tomorrow evening. And then Saturday, at some point, I will be doing the box pull for proof coins. Box pull for proof coins. All of those who were involved in that will have their opportunity to see that coming up Saturday. And so here's what we have. We have 40 something normal coins. We have 1mm 33, and the number on that one is number 3, and then we have number 15. Those two coins go to Yeoman and Coin Hunter. And that's RPM number, or 1mm number 133. Then we have a 1mm 125. We have one single example. That's coin number 28. That's going to Eric. And then we have other mixed RPMs. One or more of these could be the number 125. I don't remember particularly. But they are numbered 49, 47, 43, 41, 36, and 33. That goes to Yeoman, Randy, Adam Connor, Randy, Mr. McBride, and Eric. Looks like Randy's cleaning up today. Shows up for the roll, and he's all excited about the roll, and he had a reason to be excited about the roll. He's getting some goodies in there. Yes, the box pull will be live. The box pulls are always live. 200 proof coins. I'm going to be pulling them out of the box and telling you what you're getting. No microscopes or any of that. Won't have time for that. You guys can look on your own coins and see if they have double dies on them. I appreciate it, folks. I need to get running now. Thanks a lot for coming by. I will be back at 6 p.m. Eastern Time to do the 1954 S roll. So that's all I've got for now. I appreciate it, folks. You guys stick around, come back. I appreciate you being here. Have a great day.